Welcome back to another episode of Media Firestorm Case Studies, where I have the distinct pleasure of interviewing another Media Firestorm success story. This is Dr. Kevin's first 30 days inside of Media Firestorm. We're gonna ask him where he's been, where he was before he started the Media Firestorm program, some of the strategies that he has implemented, the results that he's getting, and what this now means for his business going forward. Kevin, I'm so excited to have you joining us here today. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Right? All right. So Kevin, just for the record and for the testimonial, give us your name, where you live, and tell us a little about your business.
Sure. I am Kevin Mays. I live in Rockford, Michigan, and my business is Mays Leadership. We have a couple major programs. We have a leadership academy where we teach and facilitate leadership and team development and culture building. And then the business ascent process, which is a coaching program with business owners to scale their business.
Fantastic. So, can you tell us a little bit before you joined Media Firestorm, a little bit about your business, how you were marketing, and what you were doing to grow?
Yeah, absolutely. I was all over the map in the last couple of years trying to find some consistency, something that would get traction to grow. So, done everything from click funnels to every other, at least five different processes in the last couple of years, and just having difficulty getting traction. One thing I love about that Media Firestorm has helped me do is gain clarity, simplify, and create a discipline that is consistent for me. So over 30 days, I'm really practicing writing every day and get better and better and better at honing my message and speaking to my audience. And the writing process, I'm just loving because now it's a discipline for me. Between that and getting on podcasts, that's what been primarily what my focus has been getting on podcast and writing. And all of that is requiring me to continually hone my message, to make it concise and clear, and then to put it out there to the world.
I love it. I love it. How long were you in business before joining Media Firestorm, or how long have you been in business, Kevin?
This is my 10th year.
10 years. And so in 10 years, you know, just really trying like every different thing, right? Throwing spaghetti
Mm-hmm.
on the wall to see
Mm-hmm.
what sticks. And now you've got, it sounds like, right, a daily consistent method
Mm-hmm.
for, a strategy for growing your business. And you said podcasts and you said writing those emails. Those are the two core activities that Media Firestorm recommends, right? Create
Mm-hmm.
exposure and revenue every day. From the beginning, how quickly were you able to see results of getting booked, or what kind of traction did you start seeing in sending those daily emails?
I got booked pretty quickly, so that's nice on the podcast.
Mhm.
So, and I've had more of those. I think I've applied to over 100, 110 podcasts. Now they're starting to come in more and more. So that's really fun. And I love those conversations. I'm a good podcast host because I just love the stuff that I do and I love to be helpful. So that's been great. Uh, the as for the email and the impact of that, I'm building the audience. I have about 2,500 people on my list right now, and it's not at this point. I'm not converting, but I'm building the audience, building the following, and again refining my message and gaining my voice, which is manifesting itself both as a written word and as spoken word. And I really believe I'm setting the platform for amazing things to come. And I'm ready. I'm ready. And it's just a lot. I'm just continually keeping the discipline going, just every day, the same thing every day. Podcasting. I did 2 podcasts yesterday. I have one more today. Just continuing that pathway is really what I'm focused on right now.
I love that. We know when we can, when we create consistency and we start sending those daily emails and we are seeing the traffic, you've just started getting booked on podcasts. They're starting to release. So those the leads will come in more consistently. Was there something that you've done before that converted better than this?
The most effective thing I've done, there's two things. One is when I've presented locally. Usually, if I present locally, my average is I get at least one client. out of a presentation locally. So trying to figure out how do I bring that online. That's been the big nut I'm trying to crack. That's one thing. The second thing that has really worked for me is that I've had a lot of success in my past with clients that I've worked with, and they come find me. So that's, the referrals has been tremendous. And
right?
actually, as I post more and more, and I'm writing more and more and on podcasts, I've had now old clients starting to find me because I'm becoming more visible. So they're finding me and connecting with me.
Yeah, right. So there's different ways to track the results of podcasting, right? It's,
Mm-hmm.
through those interviews, but also now branding yourself, people seeing you all the time, you're top of mind, and they're coming back out of the woodwork. And that's what
Yeah.
sending those daily emails. It's one of those benefits. Also getting booked on podcasts regularly. It's this ancillary result. And I feel you, Kevin. I used to speak at live events as well. And,
Mm-hmm.
in the ROI, you're in front of somebody and you can kind of A, I speak, B, I get a client. But it's a distraction and it's time consuming and getting in front of those audiences. Whereas podcasting, you'll see, right? When I look back after 2 years of consistently getting booked on 2 podcasts a week and where all of our clients came from and how much our email list grew, it's
Really?
it's the long game, right? That we are in it
Yeah.
for. And so, it's not like here, come and just do this just for 30 days, but we really want to create that consistency with our clients, kind of teach you how to fish, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right. To
Mm-hmm.
put the foundations in place that are going to grow with you. Now that you've got the foundation in place, and actually, before I ask you that, how did you find us?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't have the answer to that question.
Okay.
Somewhere online. I mean, I'm always looking for what's the next learning tool, what's the thing that's really going to help me, and put everything into it. And then but then what I know, I'm like a crow to a shiny object. Is if it's not like I talked about before, the daily discipline that is the long game. If it's just that's one thing I love. It's like you're doing in this process, doing the work. It's not learning to do the work, it's doing the work. And I think that's part of one of the differentiators and the others. It's a learning curve. You're learning to do the work. That's great. But then I do it, I learn it. I feel like I'm an expert in marketing more than most marketing individuals. I'm asking questions that they don't even ask because my head's been so deep into this stuff. But what I love here is just the application, 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 application. And so how I learned about Media Firestorm, undoubtedly it was on some online source, but that's all I could tell you.
Do you remember if you had like any doubts or fears about enrolling?
Well, there's always the doubt of, well, based on my experience, I've seen too many organizations that will tell you all the great things that are going to happen. They're going to make all the promises about what are going to happen, but it falls short. They tell you how you're going to, all the sales folks sometimes, unfortunately, can be very expansive in what's possible. And it's so easy to buy into that. So that, of course, was my concern. I want to invest in something that I'm going to see a return. I don't want this to be an expense. I want it to be an investment. And out of the gate, again, it's the discipline. Out of the gate, if you're gonna see a return, then it's not going to be by anybody else doing anything else. It's going to be me doing those core behaviors consistently again and again and again and again. And I believe that's climbing the mountain. That's the way to climb the mountain. And there's not a helicopter to take to the top of the mountain. You got to do it one step at a time.
Right. Yeah, we believe, right? If we can get you to focus on one core activity, one target audience, one marketing method for 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
you will see growth for sure. And we've seen other companies like that's how you grow a 6, 7, 8 figure business. And
Mm-hmm.
and same thing, like I've invested in a lot of different programs as well. And um, but even with all of those doubts, what made you say yes to us? Do you remember?
Why did I say yes? It was the part of it was the simplicity
Hmm.
of the whole process. It wasn't smoke and mirrors. It wasn't magic. It was a formula that others have used, that it's boots on the ground. And I know that spoke to me, the pragmatic nature of it, that it seemed like for many people it was translating into growth. And that's it. I'm willing to do the hard work. And I know I've got more clarity that I need to gain on my end. And that's part of what my bottleneck is probably my dilettante nature of trying to be everything to everybody, as opposed to one product to one core market, as you said, one core audience. Um, so I think that what I saw in the original conversations was a deep awareness, and not only a knowledge and a mastery of these processes, but the fact that you were using the processes and using yourself as the case study to talk about how these processes work. I think is brilliant to see how you got to 100,000 a month and to tell your own story by using this process. Brilliant.
Wow, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Right? Just trying to be like we're drinking the same Kool-Aid. We're in
Yeah,
the
right,
we're
right.
just a couple steps ahead of, just a couple years ahead
Mhm.
of where our clients are coming in. So, Kevin, what are you most excited about? Like, what do you see happening in this next year, right? Once we unlock and get these little nuances, what are you most excited about?
One individual who drives me crazy is Patrick Lencioni, because Patrick Lencioni, when I read his books, and I have books, right? And I read his books, I'm like, well, this is exactly what I do. And I believe, because I've had so much experience and I've kind of the way I've learned this stuff, I'm as good as anybody. I'm as good as Patrick Lencioni. But why is he Patrick Lencioni and I'm the guy nobody's heard of? So my excitement is just more national visibility, and to really be in a position where I can help more people. And of course, that plays out the business. I mean, I have a passion and love for what I do, but ultimately, at some level, too, it's a vehicle for me to be able to provide for my family. And so, yeah, in the next year, I mean, trips over abroad with my family. Yeah, that's important stuff. And my son's turning 16 and a new car for him. And so to be able to provide a lifestyle for my family is very important. But as much as anything, it's my own learning and growth, and to hit those targets and goals for myself, the big revenue targets that I pushed up against, but not managed to get over in the last 10 years since I started my own business, and to really rewrite that script, to create the 7 8 figure business. That's the path, one step at a time, one step at a time.
It is one step at a time,
Mhm.
and I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. What would you say to somebody who is unsure about taking the next steps with Media Firestorm? What would you say to them?
The Media Firestorm process is, it's a great pathway if you're willing to take 100% ownership, accountability, and responsibility for your own results in your business, for your own destiny, and for just a pathway forward. There's a proven pathway that is simple. It's not necessarily easy, and there's a big learning curve, but you start out of the gate doing work that's growing your business. So if you're willing to absolutely take ownership of your path forward and stop making excuses, stop blaming, stop justifying, rationalizing why things aren't happening, but if you're willing to put yourself in the driver's seat, here's a pathway to help you do it.
Fantastic. Kevin, tell our audience how you serve them and the best way to connect with you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm a recovering psychologist and a business coach and leadership development expert, right? So that's a lot of the work I do, is coaching and helping people get better, helping good leaders become great executives and create, enlightened cultures in their organizations. Check me out. I got a website, Kevin at Mays, or maysleadership.com, pardon me, and my email. I'm happy to correspond with folks, Kevin at maysleadership.com. I love any dialogue about growing businesses, growing ourselves, growing teams. That's what I'm all about. At a heart level, it's all about how we grow.
I love it. I love it. maysleadership.com. You can reach out to Kevin personally. If you are a good leader and you want to become a great executive, he is your expert in hand. I want to say thank you so much, Kevin, for taking the time today, for sharing your experience, your with strangers, right? And
Sure.
encouraging them if it's a right fit. But also, I just want to take a moment and tell you just how grateful Jamie and I are for the opportunity to come alongside and work with you to grow your business into this next level and this next stage. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited about what's ahead.
Me too. Me too. All right. We'll see you soon, Kevin. Thanks.
Thank you. Take care.